Many people still think Bitcoin is just a digital currency, something distant from reality. But let me tell you what it really represents. Bitcoin is sovereignty. It's financial freedom. It's the ability to leave a country in crisis with your entire wealth in your pocket, or better yet, memorized in 12 words. No bank can block it. No government can seize it. No border can stop it. And once you understand this, its value goes far beyond price. Bitcoin is like an invisible fortress that protects you from unstable systems. And the more unstable the world becomes, the more valuable that fortress gets. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about having control. It's about being prepared. Many young people today are waking up to this reality. They're making small, monthly, consistent contributions. They're studying. They're giving up instant gratification to build something solid. And the curious part is that these are the ones who will be called lucky in the future. But luck is just what lazy people call the effort they never saw. Now let's talk about a point few people discuss: human behavior during Bitcoin cycles. Every time BTC goes up, attention comes back. When it hits $100,000, the people mocking it today will come running. But by then it'll be too late. They'll be driven by emotion, by fear of missing out. And the market will do what it always does: test those people. It'll drop. It'll fluctuate. It'll demand conviction. And only those who studied, only those who understand the game, will have the courage to hold on. This isn't just about owning Bitcoin. It's about becoming mentally strong. In a world where everything is instant, where everyone wants fast results, the long-term investor becomes rare. And the rare is valuable. Bitcoin teaches. It demands patience, vision, and consistency. And if you cultivate those 3 skills now, they won't just make you a good investor. They'll make you someone capable of building anything. Because if you have the right mindset, the money follows. If you don't, even with money, you lose it all. If you've made it this far into the video, it's because something inside you knows you need to change. Maybe you're tired of depending on a paycheck that doesn't keep up with the cost of living. Maybe you've realized that the model they promised, study, work, retire, doesn't work like it used to. The good news is, you're still in the game. You can still flip the switch. And starting small is not only possible, it's how most people begin. Some started buying $5, $10, $20 a month. And today they have assets. Because the key isn't how much you put in. It's how often you do it. And with what mindset you see the future. While everyone else is distracted, you're here, investing your time, learning. That already puts you ahead of the majority. And that's exactly why Bitcoin is so threatening to the system. It gives power to those who once only had debt. It turns spectators into protagonists. And this is the silent revolution that has already begun, and that you can lead. And before we finish, let me leave you with a quote from Warren Buffett: "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." Now you know. You understand what's happening in the market. You saw the signs, heard the data, and understood what's coming. So the choice is in your hands. If this video helped you see more clearly, if it gave you an insight you needed to hear, then I invite you to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this with someone who also needs to wake up to reality. Because financial freedom isn't just for those born rich. It's for those willing to learn, to adapt, and to act before the majority. And your time is now. To wrap up, let me share with you a story you may have never heard. In 2010, a programmer named Laszlo bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 bitcoins. At the time, that was worth about $40. Today, those same bitcoins would be worth billions. That story is often used for laughs, but it reveals something deeper. People underestimate the power of time over a scarce asset. What seems small today could become massive tomorrow. And what seems risky now could be your biggest win in the future. The greatest fortunes in history were built when no one believed. When the majority said, "This won't work, this will fail, this is too risky." But someone believed. Someone acted. Someone persisted. And now they live the results. The question is, will you be the one laughing later, or the one who regrets? Bitcoin is here. Available. The choice is no longer up to it. It's up to you. If this content helped you, if at any point during this conversation you felt like you needed to hear this, then don't keep it to yourself. Send it to someone who's stuck in debt, who's lost, who needs to wake up to what's happening in the world. The system was designed to keep you confused, to keep you stuck in the rat race. But Bitcoin, and the entire movement that comes with it, is about breaking those chains. It's about reclaiming your decision-making power. Your financial future isn't in your boss's hands, or the government's, or luck's. It's in your hands. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, because here we're going to keep bringing you the truth no one else is talking about. And remember this, freedom is built every day, one step at a time. And the first step starts now. Imagine waking up one day, checking your phone, and seeing that Bitcoin has skyrocketed to over $200,000. But you don't have a single Satoshi saved. You thought you still had time, that this moment was still far away. But the truth is, Bitcoin is about to spiral out of control. And no, this is not an optimistic prediction. It's a warning, a call for those who are paying attention to the signs. Because if you understand what's about to happen now, there's still time to catch this wave before it becomes a tsunami. What I'm going to show you today isn't some crazy theory or another one of those get-rich-quick promises. It's the raw reality behind the scenes of the global financial market. And those on the right side of history, even with little money, can completely change the course of their lives. Now, if you ignore this, the chance of regret down the road is massive. So pay close attention to every part of this video, because this could be the turning point you've been waiting for. You know that moment when everything seems calm, and suddenly, the storm hits? That's exactly where we are now in the world of Bitcoin. The 2024 halving has already happened. This event, which cuts miner rewards in half, has always been the silent trigger for the biggest BTC price explosions. But this time, the market is strangely quiet. It's like the world is holding its breath. Except the big investors, the ones who actually move billions, are already positioning themselves. Institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, and other massive funds are aggressively accumulating Bitcoin. They're not making headlines. They're not making noise. But they're filling their bags, while retail investors are still distracted, waiting for some spectacular news. But in this game, those who wait too long get left behind. Because when this market truly moves, it'll be fast. Liquidity will vanish. The price will run. And those on the outside will only be able to watch from the sidelines, wishing they had acted earlier. There's a reason why billionaires like Michael Saylor are putting billions into Bitcoin. He even said, "We bought Bitcoin as a lifeboat." Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, also stated that Bitcoin is the currency of the internet and that it can bring freedom to the world. These guys aren't some hyped-up forum kids. They're strategists. And they see beyond the now. They know we are living through a paradigm shift. Money as we know it is being devalued. Inflation is eating away at wages, savings, and the purchasing power of everyday people. Central banks have printed trillions of dollars over the past decade. And that has a price. In the midst of this chaos, Bitcoin emerges as a scarce, transparent, and incorruptible asset. Only 21 million will ever exist. Period. And over 90% are already in circulation. Do you realize what that means? That soon, the race won't be about buying cheap Bitcoin. It'll be about being able to buy any amount at all. Bitcoin is going out of control because the world is going out of control. We live in an era of silent collapses. Banks being bailed out by governments, public debt exploding, and trust in financial institutions melting down. Each new crisis speeds up the search for safe havens. And gold, once the top choice, is now sharing the spotlight with Bitcoin. But BTC has a brutal advantage. It's digital, portable, impossible to confiscate, and 100% verifiable. Now add to that the recently approved ETFs in the United States. Do you realize what it means to allow traditional investors, pension funds, and billionaire asset managers to buy Bitcoin with a click? It means trillions of dollars potentially flowing into an asset with limited supply. It's the equivalent of pouring an ocean into a bucket. The price will inevitably go up. And not because of speculation, but because of pure math. Supply and demand. And those who understand this before the masses can transform their financial reality. And now comes the most important question of this video. What are you going to do with this information? Will you write it down and forget it? Will you think it's exaggerated? Or will you take the first step? Because this isn't about predicting the future with precision. It's about being prepared. And preparation doesn't require thousands of dollars. It requires vision and action. Maybe all you can afford today is a tiny fraction of Bitcoin. And that's okay. What matters most is starting. Because those who start early always reap more. It's always been that way. While some will look at Bitcoin at $60,000 and think it's expensive, others will realize this might be the new cheap. Because if it hits $200,000, as many analysts already predict, you'll want to at least own a small piece. Most people always say, "Oh, if only I had bought when it was cheap." But few have the courage to buy when everyone is uncertain. That's the difference between those who win the financial game and those who are always chasing losses. The truth is, there won't be a grand announcement. No sirens will go off saying, "Now's the time." Bitcoin's bull runs have always started quietly, and only became news when it was already too late. In 2013, in 2017, in 2021. It's always been like this. First it rises slowly, then it takes off. And those who weren't paying attention get confused, try to catch up, buy at the top, and give up in the losses. But you don't have to repeat that cycle. You're getting access to information. You're seeing the movement take shape. And you can choose to act calmly, strategically, and responsibly. Without going into debt, without falling for get-rich-quick schemes. Just with a long-term mindset. Because that's how the real winners play. And if you're still wondering if all this is an exaggeration, let me show you something that's happening right now, while you're watching this video. Entire countries are moving away from the dollar as the dominant currency. China is trading with Russia in yuan. Brazil is discussing trade deals outside the SWIFT system. Do you realize what this means? We're witnessing the end of the era of a single dominant global currency. And every time an empire weakens, a new power structure emerges. Bitcoin isn't just a technology. It's a decentralized alternative to everything that's falling apart. And in this process of replacement, those who see it first have a massive advantage. Gold took centuries to become the global reserve. Bitcoin is doing it in less than 2 decades. The difference is that now, with the internet, technology, and accessible information, you can be part of this shift even if you're outside the traditional system. It's like having the chance to invest in the internet in 1995, only better.